And he does have some mobility, which is nice to get away from the 90 caliber net. If anything, he can take out the slow from it too, with the pursuit. So, I guess this could come down to level 6.
Of course, here are the runes just now coming up on the screen. Hopefully, that's what you're seeing there.
Not yet. Unfortunately, still the delay.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I'll go ahead and hit a pause button here so that we can, see exactly what's happening. The rune setup, at least for right now, should include, and yeah, okay, we do have 1 point in Warlord this time. It's taking a point out of Mastery that gives you additional damage, but also causes you to take additional damage as well. And interestingly enough, there's 3 points put into the utility tree. So only 6 points in defense masteries, 3 points in getting a little bit of extra mana back there. So
that's not too uncommon. Honestly, the extra HP isn't too bad. Isn't all that good. The mana is pretty big though. Getting the ability to spam out more of those piltovers, not really have to worry about being completely mana drained.
Yeah, mana can actually be a little bit more of an issue. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Solo King, the Korean 1v1 tournament featuring all of your favorite players from LCK this season. My name is Rapid, with me is Egad, and we're getting into our second best of 3 of the night. It's Ggoong facing off against Pilot. Of course, Ggoong, mid laner for Najin EM Fire this season. Pilot, usually the starting AD carry for the Jin Air Green Wings, and of course he has been subbed out most recently a couple nights ago for Captain Jack a couple of times. But Pilot picking up some pretty overwhelming stats for the Green Wings this season on their starting roster. So excited to see AD carry versus AD carry as far as champions are concerned, but see how good Ggoong's Lucian is versus a player you can guarantee has played his fair share of Caitlyn.
Yeah, I mean, he's already playing really passive too. He's got the teleport and the heal, which is just going to guarantee him so much safety. If he gets harassed out at any point, like put down to 100 health, he can just go back and TV back to the lane, and that's where Pilot's really going to suffer. His back timing is going to have to be pretty much impeccable, because if Caitlyn gets any free time, that tower is going to take so much damage.
Yeah, I think I actually meant to say that the other way around with the champions on the other players, but you get the idea. Lucian, a little bit of nerfs coming to him to where his passive doesn't last quite as long, and of course Ardent Blaze now doesn't actually scale up anymore, so you're just getting the base stats from that. So a little bit less damage coming out of that, just because it was such an easy skill to land. So see if making that a little bit more difficult has any impact here. You're going to see first few auto attacks onto creeps already going to go here to Ggoong, so we'll try to get that push on a little bit more quickly. Build over Peacemaker and Piercing Light, of course, the first spells to be chosen, just because of their overall utility in helping push the wave. Look for that early level 2.
Yeah, there's nothing crazy about this lane. This is going to be a farm game, it looks like, quite honestly. The fact that Ggoong can just freely keep built over PC in the waves is good. Pilot does do a bit of damage, but
yeah, Pilot was able to put out a few extra auto attacks. You see both AD carries actually using their potions up at pretty much the same time. And even though as far as CS is concerned, I think Pilot is up 1 CS overall, all things considered. But just going for the overall aggression, you see Pilot definitely winning out the 1v1 when it comes to fighting champions. Maybe causing Ggoong to think a little bit more carefully about how he wants to trade this out.
Yeah, the Lucian trades are tough. I thought Caitlyn's range would be a factor, but the Piercing Lights, man, they're just destroying Ggoong right now. So Pilot having a very good time at this lane so far, and just abusing the fact that he has the Lightstinger passive to really just make auto trading that much easier.
Oh, teleporting to the cannon minion too, to make it a little bit more difficult for Pilot to deal with. Nice dodge of that Piltover Peacemaker, but teleporting right back into lane only to lose a lot of HP. That may not have been worth attempting to deny a cannon minion from Pilot.
It was. He denied him the extra bit of gold there. He also just really forced him to go back to base, which is nice. So that's more time that Pilot's not spent getting XP. And also Ggoong got the whole wave, which is really, really good. Although he's going to be down at Doran's Blade, which is going to kind of suck. But maybe that actually wasn't worth it.
Yeah, that's definitely not worth it there for Ggoong, because he teleported back into lane, without an extra item. He just picked up potions. That's literally the only thing. He went back to the store, bought as many potions as he could afford, and now he's going to try to win the lane off of just overall shoving and positional mechanics, and actually he's going to go back to base again and have to walk all the way back to lane.
That's fine. That is perfectly fine. It'll even up the damage. It'll give him full health and mana to come back in. He still has his heal, if anything. But then again, Pilot has Ignite, so we got to keep an eye out for when they want to use those. And Ggoong doesn't really need full mana either because he's got those extra points in the mana regen and masteries, which is okay. That's not too bad.
And he did place down a Trinket Ward in lane to scout out pilots, so maybe not all that impactful because you're always going to be in vision of creeps, and you see Pilot doing pretty much the same thing. I like Pilot's Ward a little bit better since it is a little bit closer to the turret. Keep in mind, I actually would have liked to see maybe sweeping lenses picked up so that you could then sweep wards for extra CS. That's I don't know. Maybe that meta is a little bit too far out.
And actually count in the rules?
Yeah, ward CS does count. It's just the number. So
okay.
That would be one way to get a little bit extra. But currently a 1 CS lead for Pilot, I believe, on the champion versus champion. But Relentless Pursuit going in there. You can see a lot of Lightslinger passes, but a nice headshot there from Ggoong, really putting that pressure right back.
Yeah, as long as Ggoong can abuse the fact that he can dodge away from these piercing lights and just really escape from the Relentless Pursuits, should be fine, and just let the Lightslinger passive kind of tick out.
Whoa, that's a big pilt over Peacemaker. Pilot does hang on to both of his summoner spells, but that's actually both of them used here for Ggoong.
He's got to go back.
Yeah, Flash Ignite for Pilot versus a Heal Teleport. You can see the more passive summoner spells being chosen here, paying off for Ggoong, allowing him to get back to lane a little bit more quickly and have that extra heal to keep that lane dominance down.
This is the Caitlyn factor at its finest, just the range, the fact that, oh, nice little bandage shots there by Shu, but the fact that she came back to lane with even items. She's now level 6, she's 13 CS ahead of Pilot, so doing a really good job. Ggoong is definitely taking this lane by storm. Triple Doran's Blade now coming up for both of the players too, and despite heal being down, there's no reason Ggoong should ever be in a situation to get ignited in near death now at this point.
Yeah, at this point, we're just primarily looking for level 6s, and there you can see level 6 for Pilot. Culling is going to be a great skill to maybe snipe down Caitlyn underneath her turret, but at the same time, yeah, you can see there it is, the Culling being used outside of turret range just to get a little bit of a beneficial trade. And while Ardent Blaze may not deal all that much damage anymore, it's going to be about the CS, already over halfway to 100.
Yep, he's got trap positioning too, which is not too bad. Kind of forces Pilot to hang over towards the right side or the left side if he really wants to be super safe, but it's all a positional thing at this point, and the Caitlyn Ggoong should have no problem with keeping this lead. With Triple Dorans, it makes last hitting really, really easy and just a pilt over for fun. You do get the pursuit in from Pilot, but it's not going to be enough to kill. There's no way. He also doesn't have the mana pool for it, so he's kind of got those mana pots taken away as well.
Piercing Lights, though, continuing to land here, so Pilot does have a summoner spell advantage, though. That Ignite will be usable. Piercing Light on in there. The Light Slingers continuing to hit there, but oh, going in. There's actually Ignite down. Ace in the hole will land. It's no way to block that out here, but now Ggoong actually in a little bit of a rough spot. Forced to pop all those health potions. Has 2 running, but it may not be enough. And Pilot goes for the dive here.
He doesn't have the mana for it. No way.
Yeah.
Even with just a pursuit, it wouldn't be enough. He did tag him with the Piercing Light, but it's not going to be enough. These potions are just doing too much.
Yeah, Relentless Pursuit also at early ranks does cost mana, so it's not free like it used to be. Remember when Lucian came out? Ah, the memories. Free Relentless Pursuits, high scaling on everything, and the dream. But at the same time, probably not something we're going to see right now. So what could be the final backs for both AD carries coming out right now, and I say AD carry because of their champions, but for both players, because they are not necessarily both AD carries. Going to be coming out quad Dorans on both sides, and probably more sustain than they'll need in potions, just because this game actually shouldn't last all that much longer. We're already 2/3 of the way to 100 CS, and there's a small advantage here for Ggoong, at least in CS.
Still, you need that 10 plus CS advantage once you hit that 100 creeps. So we'll see. We'll see. At this point, big wave built up in mid. Ggoong teleported back to mid lane, didn't force at the lane, which is surprising. I thought he would try to push out to the turret, but
here's
didn't really.
All in from Pilot. You can see, look at that, the culling use, a full culling going to be channeled out there. I think he missed like one shot, and even with an ace in the hole to trade back, that is a big deal here for Pilot. Forced them out there. Now, did lose a little bit of CS, and we'll take a Pilt over Peacemaker back. So overall, actually all that, not all that big of a difference with that Pilt over Peacemaker factored in.
Still pretty even. Big cooldown though for both of them down in their ultimates. I'm not sure how I feel about this still. This could come down to the turret, honestly. There's some good poke going, and it's at about half. I wish we could see the side of Pilot's turret and how much damage it's taken so far. But yeah, it's still 6 CS differential. It's a whole wave ahead is Ggoong, but they could keep it even for a long time.
Now, when you're going for the CS victory, I feel like that's actually pretty easy to punish when you know the guy is just going to walk up and hit the CS to win the game. You can actually go for some crazy all-ins, and we've already seen Pilot play this lane incredibly aggressively, not necessarily favoring the CS just because, you know, Caitlyn's probably going to win that category anyway. But, you know, not afraid to go for these aggressive trades, and you can see all consumables used here for Ggoong, but Pilot's still got a little bit in the bank, so we'll see if the sustained advantage is what turns this lane around in his favor.
It should, honestly. Once that final potion stops ticking, all the harass is going to stick, and he should just be doing what he's doing. Just go straight forward, keep him poked down, and force him to only rely on those Doran's blades. Yeah, he's doing really well with his piercing lights.
And there's actually summoner heal used primarily just for sustain in lane, so when you have to use your summoner heal for sustain, you're probably going to have a bad time. And a nice Caitlyn combo used there, but once again, no more sustain and completely out of mana here. Ggoong in a rough spot.
Yep, Pilot in the best position possible in this scenario. He's not level 9 yet. He's still a little bit behind in XP. He's going to use Culling to push the wave down, and he's going to get some seriously good damage on this turret if he really applies himself to it. And it might come down to a turret victory here. He should be putting those Lightslinger passives into the turret, quite honestly.
Yeah, he's been using them to trade. Like you said, probably a better idea to just go for that. Oh, ace in the hole already up again, and now it's actually Pilot without consumables, who could be in a little bit of a rough spot. Of course, we were talking about mana advantage, and with each individual shot landing, possibly determining the way that this matchup is going to go. More creeps coming in, and we've actually seen the CS differential equalize a little bit. Built over Peacemaker kind of whiffing there, but at the same time, yeah, we're only about 3 to 4 CS different between both teams, and with 101 CS here, this could mean the difference between you know, a win and a loss here. Ggoong has already crested that mark. If he ever hits 10 CS ahead of Pilot, then he will win this matchup, but at least for the time being, they are still very,
it's
very
not going to
close.
happen. There's no way.
They're going to push this wave into the turret. Pilot could win off of a turret victory. This wave will give.
He shouldn't be afraid to trade. He should not be afraid to trade with Ggoong just for some turret damage. That damage is so important.
Ignite used just to put the pressure back on it. That will send Ggoong back to base, but will this mean a turret? He does have teleport up. Okay, so that will allow him to get back to lane, and this actually could be the end of the game here for Pilot with Ggoong TPing onto this minion. He'll guarantee himself full CS from this wave, and even up the score as far as CS is concerned. Pilot going way back to the back. Jungle monsters do not count towards your CS, so for everyone you kill there, it's just not going to matter. But this might actually be 10 CS advantage here.
Is this going to be a game?
Can he get the turret? One short of 10 CS.
He's got a pickaxe, too. This is some seriously big damage going into this turret. That might be it.
Yeah, I think the turret's going to go down here. Ggoong might have just won the teleport. Lasting things out, taking the turret, forcing the recall there by Pilot, and just great 1v1 mechanical play. Ggoong will win game number 1 versus Pilot.
That was a bit anticlimactic, but